This is a Gumpert Apollo, a forgotten supercar that many didn't like nor appreciate, even with a 4.2-liter V8 engine. An engine found in the Audi R8 and the Spiker C8. But what if I told you that none of these cars were the first to use it? This is an Audi RS4, also known as the B7, a great performance sedan that just so happens to have the same engine all of these do. The exact same one. Same, but different. But still same. Kinda like that time when my aunt lost her child in the market because he looked like every other kid according to her. Hey, who am I to say anything? This isn't a one-off case either. Car brands love to use other car brands' engines for their own cars due to financial reasons, convenience, and sometimes just because the engines are that good. This is a Ford Galaxy. Nothing special per se. Oh, this isn't the Galaxy I'm talking about. This is the Ford Galaxy. Impressed? Should be. I mean, look at it. It's perfect. Just slide open the doors and you can do this. This generation was built alongside Volkswagen and used a 2.3-liter Duratec 4-cylinder, which also made it to another car. A very different car.
Here's Johnny!
Yeah, from a minivan to a BAC mono is definitely an interesting career path. Almost as interesting as this one. The Duratec is a decent engine used in multiple vehicles, including Caterhams, but in this instance, it wasn't stock, as Cosworth decided to touch it in many ways which helped increase its performance.
Hey, yo!
Man, I just love the Crown Vic so much. Solid car, actually. Let me inspect it real quick, quality control. Yeah, checks out, I like it. Oh, it seems we stopped making Crown Vics. I guess this Mercury Grammar Keys is cool as well. Same thing pretty much, right? Never mind, I guess. We stopped those as well. Alright, what the fuck? If you're 12 years old and glaze Koenigsegg on social media, you probably didn't know that this was the engine used at first. If you're not 12 and didn't know, I forgive you. As long as you're not glazing them over time. But yeah, the CC8S, the car that kind of sort of started Koenigsegg's pretty incredible journey, used a V8 from the Crown Vic, which really isn't a bad thing, by the way. Crown Vics were built different. There ain't no same but different, but still same here. The Crown Vic was built different. Similar case to the mono. Same engine, but modified like crazy, which is understandable because the CC8S was pushing 654 horsepower. God, imagine that in the hands of Georgia State Patrol. Yeah, my Georgia peeps, you're cooked. Hatchbacks. Yes, time to show them some love with Mercedes and Renault. The A-Class and the Megane.
Sacre bleu!
The A-Class and the Megane use a 1.3-liter petrol. It's the same engine, but this was a jointly developed engine, whereas the 1.5-liter DCI belongs to Renault. This is important to note because the diesel A-Class used that engine. Oh, would you look at that? A German brand relying on the French. We're definitely in the endgame now. But jokes aside, these relatively small partnerships can be so beneficial for the larger brands, as it kind of secures their position in certain markets. Here is the compact diesel hatchback segment from Mercedes. These hatchbacks were really nice and similar. Alright Honda, you're up. Show us your hatchback that shares an engine with another car. Probably with either a Mitsubishi, maybe even a Toyota. Imagine a Toyota. Ariel, not that. Ariel is a brand of detergent. Ariel Motor Company is a British performance car manufacturer that manufactures performance cars in low volumes. Very obscure brand, let's say, but that's pretty much every brand that makes a small amount of cars. However, these dudes were probably the craziest out of the bunch. The Atom was the first proper car, and it was indeed powered by a Type R engine. A 2-liter K20C 4-cylinder with 320 horsepower. Decent, and an equally decent top speed of 162 miles or 260 kilometers per hour. All of this on a car that weighs like 500 kilos or 1,100 pounds. That is, how do I put it? Yeah, a death wish. I'd give it a 99% chance you won't survive in this, which looks to have been discovered by Ariel, and they decided to make this, the Atom 3.5R, which has a supercharged V8 pushing 500 horsepower. Yeah, that should take care of that remaining 1%. Let's watch a drag race because they're just so much fun. We got Matt in the Supra and Yanni in the Lexus. What does it mean to be an impostor? A person who pretends to be someone else in order to deceive others, especially for fraudulent gain. There's nothing fraudulent here because both cars share the same engine. Yep, the Supra and the GS300 shared the same engine, well kinda, because the Lexus had the 2JZ GE, which meant it had no turbos compared to the Supra. But you can easily change that. After you do, you pretty much got the same engine that can do the same things, except it's in a sleeper car. That would be so much fun because people are just clueless about this. I don't know why. That's what modern day social media car culture is, sadly. They latch onto one car and completely discard the ones around it without realizing there was a very good reason they were around it in the first place. The phase of super kids glazing this in every social media post is gone, yes, thank God. But the side effect here was everyone kind of just dropped the 2JZ, like it went from overrated to barely spoken of, and it's bizarre because it's a great engine. The GS300 was known to be comfortable, decently reliable, with the engine being described as silky smooth. This would pretty much be a great daily, or even just a fun car that's also practical. Win-win in my books. Oh, and before I forget, the M160 S-Class V12 engine with the Zonda, because I know some of you are gonna be calling me out. Hey Torquio, how could you forget? Oh my god, I'm unsubbing. The reason I don't want to speak on that is simple. Everyone knows about it. Everybody and their mamas and their grandmamas. What's the point if you hear me talk on it when hundreds of others already have? I'm not going to be saying anything new. It's like standing in line for Lily Phillips. Like, come on, man. Let me show you a funny one with a 6.4 litre Hemi V8 used in Chargers, Challengers and whatnot. The jokes just write themselves. Look, I'm just playing, they're great engines. And yes, this is also relevant as these cars use the same engines throughout, which is pretty sick. Oh, and before I forget, the BMW 7 Series sharing the V12 with the McLaren F1 is another widely discussed engine sharing story. So I'ma skip that and head to Italy because I'm in the mood for a tiramisu and I want to discuss an Italian brand. Don't worry, not Ferrari, not Maserati, but Alfa. Alfa Romeo. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I've seen a single person hating on Alfa. Maybe I just live in a pineapple under the sea and I'm disconnected, who knows. But people really seem to appreciate them. The 8C is one beautiful car. Let's just put all of the jokes aside. This thing looks so freaking good. I was out one day with my family and saw one on the road and I started going crazy. I remember that because I got smacked 2 seconds later. The 8C Competizione, produced between 2007 and 2010, was Alfa Romeo's flagship, the Big Daddy, with less than 830 produced, making it even rarer than finding a normal clip of this brother. Yet, even with it being a flagship and having a V8, the engine wasn't really Alfa's. I'm about to get cooked for being right, aren't I? This car shares a lot of parts with the Maserati Gran Turismo, Quattroporte, and a few Ferraris because the V8 engine was assembled by Ferrari. Just take a look at this. One is from an 8C and one is from the Quattroporte. They're almost identical. 444 horsepower was pretty good for the time, paired with a 6-speed trans-axle gearbox that had a computerized gear selection. So much fancy talk, it just means you can use the paddle shifters. But honestly, this car ain't known for all that. It's known for its looks. In my humble opinion, the best engine sharing between cars isn't the ones with extremes, such as Pagani and a Mercedes, or a Koenigsegg with a Ford. It's about those that are similar, yet so different. Don't misunderstand me, it's so cool to see those crazy engine sharing collaborations, but just seeing this, for example, the CTSV sharing an engine with a Corvette, it's almost wholesome. The Caddy was powered by the V8 LT4 moniker, same thing found in the Z06 at the time, which gave it the nickname 4-door Corvette. Another example would be an AMG SNE63 sharing the same engine as the AMG GTR or the G63. There really is something cool about that. It proves that we don't really need special engines for every car. What we need are good engines, fun engines, that can be shared among many, keeping the cost for parts and maintenance lower and making them perhaps just that little bit more attainable. Also, another thing we need is for you to submit your car if you want to see it make the Rating My Viewers Cars video. You can do so via the link in the pinned comment. I am very much looking forward to your submissions.